Yes, he has got a tie on. Good evening, friends! Well done for a big raucous welcome to everyone to Littleport Village Hall this wonderfully warm and uplifting Thursday evening. We make our own warmth, friends, so let's raise the roof and give a big Littleport welcome. It's been a while, but she's back. A very good friend of ours. Give it up for Dora Sheridan! Welcome. Now, me and Dora, despite of whether... I can't actually see him at the moment, you know. Despite of whether or not we were actually seeing each other through church, very frequently see her when I was doing my other job. But it's been 6 months since I finished that, and we ain't seen each other, you know. It's usually that or Christmas wandering around Tesco's looking for millet. That was it. So they actually live with us now, but that's another story. But yes, so welcome everyone, and it really is great to have you back, Dora, so thank you for joining us. And of course, we have got our traditional, uplifting, wonderful, joyous Thursday service to do, and of course, it would be no service at all without you wonderful people all here, keeping the flame of spirit burning each and every week. And I would like to point out that you can now watch what's going on online in the hall without having to do that round my wide bum. Because it's now higher, because it's up in the air, so thank you, Tony, for your wondrously ingenious contraption. Just to keep things flowing and growing and moving forward as ever. But of course, no Thursday would be the same without our traditional and normal way of opening this service. So would you all please join with me as we open this evening in prayer? As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends to witness your truth and your proof that life is indeed eternal. We ask that the veil be lifted. We ask that those that love us and we thought we had lost move forward and show that they are there watching over us each and every day. And as I place this service in your care and keeping, we make the statement as ever that everything we do will be in love, truth, and light. Amen. Well, friends, this is the point in the service where everyone looks a bit nervous, looks a bit worried, looks a bit concerned. Is Nick going to be on one having a rant this week? Is Nick going to be cheerful? Is Nick going to be insightful? Or can we all just have 10 or 15 minutes kip? I've seen it, Dora. You know, you go watch it. But the thing is, friends, sometimes the most important things don't have big headlines. Sometimes the most important things aren't the most virulent topic of the day. Sometimes the most important thing is just being nice. I've said it a few times over the years from this platform. I've made use of any particular area that I've worked in to be able to just put that message across that just being nice is good enough. But it's never more important now in our lives to remember that the simplest things are the most wondrous gifts. Of course, it's only been a few days that the census of 2021 was publishing its first wave of facts and figures. And of course, uproar, fear, worry, anger, frustration. Those who don't believe in God have gone up, and those who believe in Christianity has gone down. I'm not surprised because it probably is a little bit more accurate now. Bear with me. When I first became a spiritualist, I was one of these annoying little whatsit who thought he knew everything. So I did a survey in a church that I was working at that particular point one day. And there was about 40, 50 people there over the course of this time I did the survey. And I asked them all, anonymously, to write down what their religion was. Now, around about 2/3 wrote themselves down as Church of England. Great. Nothing wrong with that. Let me ask you a question. What actually is C of E? Because the thing is, my friends, people over the years have just automatically said that when they're asked the question. And there is a small proportion of those people who don't actually know that it means Anglican. And in the Anglican tradition, those who go to spirit do not communicate with us mere mortal humans. So if you put that down and you was in a spiritualist church, it was like, ooh, what's going on there? The point is, our faith, our religion, our way of life, our way of thinking about all things spiritual is shaped and formed by those who are around us, by those who influence us, by those who tell us the things that is the wonderful word that I hear so much in this way of life, resonates with me. Does it really matter? Does it really matter what we put down on a piece of paper once every 10 years? Does it matter how we identify ourselves? Now, I'll be honest with you. For a number of years, I would have said, absolutely yes. But you know what? Hand up on heart. I was wrong. It doesn't matter how you identify any particular practice. It doesn't matter how you identify yourself as spiritual. All that matters is that you just be nice. People will say that pain and war is caused by religion. I would correct that sentiment and say, in the name of. Because every religious way of life, every theme of the Great Spirit starts with the wondrous intention of love, compassion, and kindness. It's always the origin of that theme. It's only the intervention, interruption, and interference of people wanting to claim others as their followers, their useful devices to give a 10% tithe and stuff like that, that things start going skew-pot. People mock those who used to follow and worship the sun. People still do. But I ask you this, what's so wrong about seeing this great big ball of light that is so far away that we can't touch it, and yet we can see it in our lives every day? It provides warmth and heat and life around us. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty good description of the Great Spirit. All right, so the Great Spirit is not a fiery ball of gas and hydrogen around about 250 million miles away from this planet. But you can understand the reason why that parallel was made. There are so many parallels in the physical world to the spiritual world. And all that has ever mattered when those origins have been created is just be nice. The thing is, my friends, it doesn't matter whether you say you are religious or spiritual. It doesn't matter whether you say you are undecided. And you know what? I'm going to say it publicly. It doesn't matter if you identify yourself as spiritualist or not. We're past the days of labels. Labels is what puts us in boxes. And it's those boxes that put people in boxes. Boxes and labels are irrelevant. All that matters is what's in your heart. All that matters is that you stand up when you wake up and think, today I'm going to make a difference to those I love. That is all that matters to the Great Spirit. A being of pure energy, as undescribable as it is, we keep trying every single day of our lives. But the way I perceive it is the source and life that created us. An energy substance that initiates us and wants us to be nice and do well and achieve great things. That's all that matters to me. And I perceive that energy, that entity, if indeed you can even use that description, as beyond anything physical. So it's certainly beyond labels. And the sooner we realise that, and the sooner we forget labelling ourselves and each other, and just be nice. Think about how much that can change the world. But also think about how much that can change each of us within ourselves, without the pressure, without the worry, without the fear. We could live in perfect harmony, not just with each other, but most importantly, with ourselves. Because as much as every journey is an adventure, as much as every destination is the goal, every journey begins with a first step. But in order to make that first step, that journey must begin right here within us. So enjoy your journey. Enjoy your life. Be free to be happy and positive and loving and kind, and forget about a label. Forget about those boxes that we put society in. And just remember, if Reverend Wendy were here, we would both look at each other and grin and say, there is only one race, the human race. So say we all. God bless you all, and thank you for listening. Well, friends, notices. We are now coming into the very final run. Our final service of the year will be on the 22nd of December. We won't be back then until after Christmas and New Year. But don't worry, we're only missing 1 week, it's fine, so you'll be all right. And I'm sure I'll do my Queen's speech on Christmas Day like I usually do. No comments, you. But of course, we have still got so much going on. Naming, oh, hello. Not naming, because I was about to say naming Freddie. Freddie's got a name, but Freddie down there needs his birthday figuring out. And so there is a calendar where you can take part and win Freddie if you guess his date of birth. We also have a wonderful hamper that was donated by Ivy that will be, we've got a separate raffle ticket book that we'll be raffling off for the final one of the year, just to top up the Christmas supplies ready for when you have your week off and have to watch soap operas on a Thursday night. And of course, so much planned for next year, so do look out for more details about that. There is no workshop this month, because the hall was pre-booked at that point, but there is, of course, Drum Healing Circle on the third Sunday, and it will, of course, be in that room, and it's going to be a very, very special one, so do come along for that. I might even come, just because I want to get a slap. But no, lots going on still, even though there's only 3 or 4 weeks left of the year. But where did it go? But thank you all for being part of that journey and all of the wonderful things that you've all achieved this year in the name of Littleport Christian Spiritualists. It's been amazing. Thank you and well done. And of course, now we come to find out if Spirit have been listening. Because you all thought I'd forgotten. But how could I forget? A lovely young man, all the way up there in Cleethorpes. Let me get me Dewberry ready, because I'll only forget that. We're now going to have our reading before we do our healing. And of course, we do need to say that magic word. Reverend Alan, are you there? So after 3, 1, 2, 3, Reverend Alan, are you there?
I certainly am. Good evening, Littleport. I hope everyone's well. Good evening to everybody watching online. In my own opinion, and it's very, very seldom you hear me say this, but in my own opinion, spirits have been absolutely banging today. Tonight's reading is Let Your Light Shine by Eileen Bailey. Does the light of your soul still shine? Is it still a beacon that others can find? Or does a guilty conscience cover it like a film, dulling its rays and causing it to look dim? Do you tell yourself everything is just fine, ignoring the needs of others as if blind? What about those who have gone astray and those who are lonely and afraid? Search your heart and see, and you will find. Ask yourself if you have been unkind. Good deeds alone will not get you to heaven. Extend a helping hand to your fallen brethren. It will clear your conscience and erase your sins, and the light of your soul will be bright again. Others will look upon you as a beacon of hope, as down life's road they struggle and cope. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Alan. Yes, yeah, it is a very rare thing for Reverend Alan to agree that it ties in. So, you know, when he says, oh, I think so, you're in for a good one. Once again, thank you, Alan, as always. If you don't mind, while I've got you, we're about to do the healing. I'd like you to stay for the healing. I know you usually go and wander off and do your own thing, and you think you can't be seen, but everyone in the hall can see your little box in the bottom there. And if people have got a magnifying glass, they can also watch at home on the screen on the stage. But I'd like you to stay for the healing.
No problem.
Because of what we discussed.
Yes.
And then, of course, we will say goodbye to you after the healing. But for now, for a wonderful reading, thank you, Reverend Alan. So, friends, now we are, of course, going to perform our absent healing, and I am going to stand up. I'm not going to be lazy all night. When you send out your healing thoughts, and this is the reason why I've kept Reverend Alan up, please send your healing thoughts to his sister Brenda, who is in hospital and is in very much need of our help, upliftment, love, healing, and support. And, of course, anyone you know who is sick and suffering and in need of comfort, send out your thoughts to them. And as always, and I say this over and over and over again until I'm blue in the face, remember to ask for yourself, because that is so important. So let's all join together, friends, as we send out our healing thoughts. Begin with the healing prayer. Listen to the wonderful, peaceful music, and end with the word Amen. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. This we ask for those we know, for those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, friends. And of course, a big thank you to Reverend Allen. Please do send our love to Sister.
You will do.
And God bless, and we will see you a bit later on.
Yeah, enjoy everybody.
God bless, mate.
God.
Well, friends, the moment has arrived. Now, the thing is, Dora, whenever I get off on one of my rants, they worry that I'm going to overrun. But you remember what time I said you'd be taking over? I'm ahead of the game tonight. I know. So you didn't have to fall asleep during. Don't take the mick. Friends, in a moment I am, of course, going to be handing over to the lovely Dora for the rest of the evening. Do send your love and support to her throughout this evening, of course. But most importantly, one of the things that I find really important, especially after we've given healing, is to re-raise the vibrations. Remember that joy is in our hearts. Remember that laughter is the key. And remember that Spirit are watching. Just as much as everyone at home's watching us, they are watching us too. And I know that this hall is filled with wonderful Spirit people watching over us and willing us on and saying, Nick, shut up and get on with it. So, shut up, Barry. So without further delay, please give a warm and wondrous welcome, especially extend it a little bit longer so that I've got time to plug her in. Give a warm and wondrous welcome to a very good friend of ours. Give it up for Dora Sheridan!
Okay.
There, that won't get in your way. There we go.
Yeah, we all good?
All good.
Right. Well, good evening, everyone. And he is early. I will say he is early. But before we begin, I just want to say a really warm welcome to all the younger generation here this evening. It's so lovely to see them because you very rarely see younger generations at the spiritualist churches nowadays, and it's really nice to see them. So welcome, kids, and welcome. Okay, so for some of those who've never seen me before, I'm going to be walking backwards and forwards and I shall be fall over that. But for those who've not seen me before, I'll tell you a little bit how I work. I do sense, see and hear spirit, sometimes not always at the same time. And I usually just leave it over to them for the evening and let them work with me how they wish to work with me. But the only thing I do ask is if they do come through, which I know they will come through, if I come to you, can you please talk back to me? Can I hear your voice? Because it's them that want to hear your voice. They can't hear you nod, okay? So the more communication you have, because it works on vibration, the better. Okay, so let's have a look, see where we're going first. Okay. I've got a mother, please, in the world of spirit, that's come forward. As she comes forward, I do feel that this lady, I wouldn't say she's overly tall. I want to come down a bit in height with her, and I know I need to come out a little bit with her. So I know she's carrying a little bit of weight on her. She's very, very motherly and dealing with a very natural born soul. The way I'm also sensing from her is that she would be a natural mother in the kitchen, always cooking with like natural food as well whenever she cooked. Beautiful homemade pies I'm looking at her as she's making. She would have worn an apron, and I'm looking at an apron as I'm tying it up at the back of me here, please. Okay, let me just see if I can see where she wants me to go here. Okay. The other thing I'm seeing here with this lady, okay, I feel that she wouldn't have lived, please, in a city, but I do want to see her starting off almost like in a terraced townhouse. Yeah, so that's where she would have began, but I don't think she ended there. Okay, so I do feel that there was a move, please, with her. And the street that I find I want to be there is literally quite a narrow street with terraced houses on either side of the road here. Okay, everybody's connected to each other. Everybody knows everybody. Okay, the women were very looked after each other. Okay, I can see children playing in the street as well, and I know I need to go back in time with her. So this would have been a few years ago, please, because I feel like I'm with her, as I'm looking at her, she would have been then round about in her 20s, late 20s, early 30s at that time in that street. Okay. Let's see. The other thing I'm feeling with this lady as well, I don't feel she would have been here locally, not at that time. So I feel like I want to go further up north, please, with this lady. So I feel that she would have come from the north, please. Does anybody can identify, first of all, this female? This street is quite clear. Yeah, okay. Together? Okay, is it okay if I work with you both? So would you understand, first of all, that coming down from the north, that's where I want to be, and you'd understand the street as well, the houses on either side, small terraced houses, kids playing in the street, as I'm looking at here. Definitely got the apron, natural female, would cook with natural things, please. Yeah, okay. So I feel that there's a real close bondship here, really close connection. I don't know if this is mum, but she feels like a mum vibration here. Mum, okay. So as she comes in today, and I do feel like this lady did move in time. Yeah, I don't think she stayed there. Yeah, so I feel like I want to bring her down almost from where she was, from the north, okay. Now with this lady as well, okay, as she's coming in today, I know that she's just got such a huge heart. She's like bursting at the seams. There's a lot of love with this lady, but she was a real genuine soul, and I want to say that because she would touch people's hearts, and she would go out of her way to do things. It didn't matter whether you had 2 pennies in your purse. It was irrelevant to her. What mattered is what she gave. And if somebody didn't have enough food to eat, she'd make them food. And that's what she was like. It was looking after each other, and that's how they work, especially at that time. Okay? And she's saying to me, life was difficult, but it's always difficult. Life is never easy. Yeah. But it's what you make of it that counts. Yeah? And it's what your purpose and meaning is that you give to that life. Okay? So that's what's really important for her. Okay. The other thing as she's coming through, she's given me a couple of things that I need to give to you, and I'm not sure which one of you it's connected to. I need to give you buttons. I don't know if this lady collected buttons or somebody here is collecting buttons. I'm seeing a jar of buttons, please.
Yeah, well, there is a box of buttons I know of,
Yeah, okay, so she's just bringing that in as well, as just as a memory link there as well for you. Okay, the other thing I'm looking at here, she's talking to me about, and this is, I don't know how far she's trying to push me back here, but what I'm looking at is a cart. She's given me a cart. Do you understand the cart, please? Yeah, so she's, and I felt that she really whipped me back a little bit in time with that, okay, as I'm looking at this cart. I know that there's somebody here that also, between the two of you, somebody needs some work done on some fencing, please. She's talking to me about having some work done on some fencing. Yeah, which hasn't yet been done, she might add, yeah. So she's talking about getting that done as well, okay. Just another thing she said on your list, but she said the list is pretty long. It just goes on and on and on. And as far as she ticks one thing off, 4 things go back on the list. Do you understand that as well? Okay. All right, okay. The other thing she's saying to me here, I'm looking at a brooch here, so I've got a lovely brooch that she would have worn, please. Yeah, and I do believe that there would be a photograph of her wearing this brooch, please, in that as well. Okay, so I am looking at a couple of photographs as I'm looking at her at the moment, and I know that there's some on display that I'm looking at as well, and some of them are quite about that big, please. Okay, but I've got some like little ones as well. Yeah, don't think they're on display, but they're tucked away somewhere. Yeah, okay. She's talking to me about time as well, as if time is of the essence, but I think what she's trying to say to me here is that time is very important for somebody here. Do you understand it? It's like everything is to time. Yeah, it's like there's a time for everything, you know, and it's like on the dot as well. So she's so precise. Time to do this, time to do that. Everything is like this all the way, okay? But she says, you know, it's almost like time never runs out. Okay, time just does not run out. So she said it's like not to worry about being so rigid to the time for everything, okay? Right, Okay. I've got some furry animals that she's given me here, okay? So I'm looking at furry animals. But it's not just live animals I'm looking at here, because I'm looking at stuffed animals too. Do you understand the stuffed animals as well that I'm looking at as well with you, okay? I've also got a bird that's chirping in my ear at the moment, so I know that there would have been a bird connection there as well. So she would have had either... Yeah, okay, so I've got that chirping in my ear as well, okay? She's got so much to say, and there's just not enough time this evening to say exactly what she wants to say. There was so much, okay? She's talking about a little bit of a disaster with somebody making long spaghetti. I don't know what the disaster was, or whether it's a memory link or something you can recall, but she's talking about somebody actually making a dish, and I'm seeing long spaghetti, but didn't quite work out how it should have worked out. I can see your cogs going round and round and round.
I had a thing, well, yeah, it might not be, but I did a show last week and we had spaghetti in the show, but I don't know, it might be that, I don't know.
Right, because she's just making reference on that, okay. And tell you what it feels like, you know, like when you get some cooked spaghetti and it's overcooked and it becomes quite stodgy.
Yes.
That's what she's showing me. That's what happened, okay. But she was quite a natural cook, this lady. She could cook from nothing. Yeah, whatever she had, she would cook with, and it would be delightful, yeah. I need to give somebody dripping on toast as well, and I know... and I know that's another thing as well. Someone to give dripping on toast, and also treacle tart, please, I need to give to the both of you as well, yeah. Okay, and I think that was a couple of favourites as well that come in, and some memory links there that brought you back in time as well with her, okay. So... she's almost gone. She doesn't want to go now she's here, but I know she's going to have to go. The only other thing I just want to give you, she's showing me Christmas presents. I know we're coming up to that time of the year, yeah, but what she's also showing me is like almost empty boxes of Christmas boxes. Yeah, and I think that's a memory link here, because it feels like there's like wrapped empty boxes.
Well, no, I was just literally thinking about doing that just so that, because the children's presents get smaller each year, I like to see big presents.
Right.
But then the children, I think they're getting more presents when they're empty boxes.
Right. So she's actually laughing about that. She said it's almost like took her way back in years gone by, you know, where they didn't have a lot of money to get gifts.
Okay.
So they would create such a big Christmas there. And yeah, okay, so she's just bringing that in for you. Okay, I'm going to leave her love with you, and I'm going to say God bless to the both of you. Okay. Okay, let's have a look where we're at now. Okay. Right, okay. Okay, I've got a gentleman now that's come in, and this gentleman would have been in the services, please. I feel that this gentleman would have passed with heart failure, please, with this man. As I'm looking at him, I would say he would be about 5'8", maybe a bit taller than that. Again, quite solid built as well, this chap, okay? He has got white hair, so I'm looking at white hair on him, and it's quite a wavy hair as well, so he's got quite a good hair on his head there. Quite a character in himself, though, because I feel that he was quite rigid in himself in the way he was, but I think that was his training when he was in the services, please. But he would got quite a character about him, okay? And he would be quite dry with his sense of humour. So when he'd say something, people didn't quite know whether to take offence or whether to laugh with him, because they wasn't quite sure how they could take him. I do believe this man would have loved being outside, so I know he's an outside man rather than indoors. But I do know that this man liked his peace and quiet. Okay, because what I'm seeing, he would have wore glasses on his face, please. And when he did sit down, he just really chilled out. He liked his home comforts, and he just liked being at home. Okay, but he did love being outside. So I know I want to take him not in a city base. I want to bring him more rural base where he could go out, because I'm going on long walks with this gentleman as well. And I know this is the latter part of his life, and he was in the services earlier, but I just feel that I'm looking at him round about in his 70s, and I know that time was when he used to love being for walks outside, please. Can anybody understand this man, please? Yeah, okay, let me come over to you. Let me just recap on some of those things, okay? So do you understand this chap in the services, this man in the services, and round about the 70s, as I'm looking at him, Yeah. Also being rural. He liked his home comforts, but he loved being outside. Yeah, okay. And although he was quite a rigid character, he looked like that. But actually, underneath of that, he wasn't really like that. Yeah, it's really who knew him knew that he wasn't like that. But he had that dry sense of humour where people just wasn't sure if they should take offence or was he joking. You know, and they didn't quite, but he knew that. Even now I've got a grin on his face as I'm looking at him there. And even now I can see him joking with people, but they're not quite sure how to take that. Yeah. So this man feels quite close to you, so I know I've got a lovely bond here, connection with yourself, okay? The other thing with this man, as I'm looking at, you understand the glasses upon his place, please? Because I know he liked glasses. And I also know as I'm sitting there in my chair, because I feel like I've got a chair that I'm sitting in, please, at home, and it's a real comfy chair, what I would call a comfy chair with him, okay? And I know and I've got a book in front of me as well, so I know that he would like to read as well, but I often feel that the book didn't get read from A to B. He would like do a few pages, and then I feel that he would nod off a lot of the time, yeah? And the book, I don't think the book ever got read, or, you know, take ages to read that book, okay? Right, okay. I don't feel he was much of a man that was into TV or anything like that. Although I'm seeing him got the TV there, but to him he's got more the book in front of him, even though that's going on in the background with him, yeah? Okay. He was a bit of a stickler though he liked certain things in certain places. Yeah, so he wasn't an over man that would have liked a lot of mess. He liked to know exactly where things were. I am opening a drawer. He's showing me to a drawer at the moment, so I know in this drawer, and I've got lots of paperwork going on in this drawer. So I think a lot of he's showing me bills, but I don't know if they were bills, but I feel like I'm shoving everything in this drawer. Yeah, and as I open it, it's just like loads of it, yeah. But he did keep on top of things, but everything had a place, and he liked to know where everything was. Shoes was really important with this man. Shoes, he always says, okay, he said, you can always tell a person by their shoes, yeah, and if they were spit and polished, that meant something. Yeah, I know that a lot of that come from his training, but he always stood by that. Yeah, and so for him, that was very important. And he's showing me the actual black polish, you know, the small black polish that you would brush on the shoes. So he's showing me that as well, please, with himself, okay? Right. As this man's coming forward, okay, that I know that he's very much around you, okay, but what I'm also feeling from him is that he's saying it's almost like you're a bit undecisive about something at the moment. Yeah, it's almost like he's showing me like a different pathways for you, and it's almost like I'm stuck on this roundabout, so to speak, and I'm not quite sure which exit I should take. Yeah, so you're contemplating which one, but it's like you're going a bit round in circles, he said yourself. Yeah, because one minute you're there, then you're there, then you're there, and then you're back to square one again, and if no decision has been made, okay? He was actually a bit opposite of that. If he was going to do something, he would do it. Yeah, it's like, this is what I'm going to do, that's it. But he said, I think he's feeling quite frustrated that you're going round and round and round. And it's like, make a decision, yeah. But he's saying that at the same point, he said it's almost like you know inside what that decision should be, but having to come to that decision is a bit more harder, yeah. But he said once you've made that, there's going to be a massive weight lifted off your shoulders, yeah, because then there's no going back, if that's making any sense to you, what he's saying, okay? Okay, he's talking about flowers around you, so he's talking about 11 like flowers around you, and somebody would have been really good at planting bulbs in the garden at the moment, so I don't know if you're doing that, if that's around you or whether it's him, but I feel it's more based around yourself, please, okay? Okay. Okay. The other thing he's talking to me is about, I'm looking at a doorway at the moment, and this is not like a normal front door, because it's sort of to be shaped, this door. So I don't know if it's the front door or back door, but it's like arch, it's like it's shaped, you know, like a wooden door. That's what I'm sort of looking at. So would you understand that, please?
Not at the moment, no.
Right, I'm not sure why he's bringing that in, but he's making sense that there is, would you understand that there is something, I want to almost like, I can't shut the door. I want to shut the door, but it won't shut properly. So would you understand there's a connection there if he's showing me that because of your door, or there is a door around you, I'm struggling trying to close the door properly. No, tell me if you can't, because I need to go back and ask him what he's talking about. So let me just clarify what he means by that. Now, I'm not sure if this is an actual front door. It doesn't look like a front door. This is what I'm saying. So I don't know if maybe it's a cupboard door, but it feels wooden and it feels more shaped. And it's like I need to close it, but I can't close it. Right? Don't apologise. Don't apologise. He's trying to tell me something here, and maybe it's me just not getting it. Would you understand underneath of the stairs door? You know, you have like a cupboard under the stairs, and you're trying to. If you can't, just tell me, and I'll get him to move on from that, because he keeps coming back to the same door. So I'm not quite sure where that fits. And if it's not fitting around you, it may be fitting around him. That's what I'm just asking if you have any memory of that. But if you can't, but that's okay, don't worry. I'll ask him to move on. Okay, he's saying to his memory is better than yours. Because it keeps bringing me back to this door. So it obviously had an impact, this door, whatever he's trying to bring me reference to, yeah? But he's saying his memory's sharper than yours is, but I think he's had a really good sharp memory, didn't it? He very rarely forgot anything, please. Yeah, okay. In fact, you could take him way back and he would just rattle off straight things that happened, the year, the time, the date, everything. It would just go straight off with him. Yeah, okay. He's saying to me about this decision that you're umming and erring, okay? He said to me, really, or it's almost like saying to you, stop dancing around the idea. He said, you know which one you're going to have to choose. Yeah, and it's making that decision. I've also got a journey for you as well. He's talking to me about a journey with yourself as well. Okay, I don't feel that's quite recent, because I feel that's coming up, please. So it feels like, but I want to drive somewhere, please. So there is a journey coming up for you. Okay, and I feel it's quite a bit of a distance as well, so it's not feels like it's that local. So it feels like I want to go on this journey, please. And I feel that it feels like you're going to see, hang on, let me just ask. So I don't know if you've got family, but it feels like I've got this connection that I want to go and drive to, please. Okay, and it's a bit of a distance. Okay, so can I just ask you to hold that with you? If you can't take that, I'm going to leave his love with you and say God bless you. Okay. Okay. I've got another female in, and she's very insistent. Doesn't want to wait, and I think that's how she would have been in life, please. It's like she's got something to say, she wants to say it. She's giving me lots of plums. This woman is just showing me lots and lots of plums. Again, lots of cooking going on with her, but I just can see, it's almost like I'm seeing these fruit trees as well in her garden. So I don't know if she had lots of them, or in the grounds as I'm looking at there. But lots of fruit trees I'm seeing that she would have just picked and used that within the cooking as well, please. Okay, the other thing I'm getting with this lady is I'm also hearing a name as well, and it could be like, it's either Mary or Mavis around this female, so it may not be her name, but it's connection around her, please. She's also talking to me about another relative that she's talking about, which is, I think I've gone back a generation with this lady as well, which is a grandmother as well in the world of spirit, connected with this lady, okay? But this grandmother, I do want to bring her down in height, please, and again, quite small, but I do feel this female was quite frail within herself. I do feel that she passed with old age, but I do think she had other health conditions that contributed to her passing. This female, as I want to talk to her, is very good at knitting. She's showing me lots of knitting that she's doing. I'm seeing crocheting that she's doing. Very artistic, okay? I'm also hearing the name Rose around this female as well. So there would be Rose around the family, please. So I'm hearing the names of Rose, and I'm hearing the name of Mary. It's either Mary or Mavis I'm sort of getting around this family unit, okay? The other thing, and lots of fresh vegetables, lots of fresh fruit and vegetables I'm seeing with this female, okay? The other thing I'm looking at this lady, the older lady, the grandmother, as she's talking to me, I do feel that she would have had difficulty walking, because I almost want to shuffle with her, but I feel like I've got a frame that I'm almost like shuffling with, and I think she lived to a very good old age, the older lady, the grandmother, please. Okay. Is that your grandmother? So would you understand, let me recap a bit, you'd understand the frame, please, the shuffling. She's quite small and dinky, wasn't she? Yeah? Would you understand the fresh fruit and the fresh vegetables. Loads of plums. I just keep getting lots of plums that she keeps giving me. Okay. The other thing with her as well, I do think she lived to a good old age, this lady. Yeah, because I'm not quite sure how old, but I'm feeling I'm more my over late 80s around about that, or even early 90s. I'm actually feeling with her. Right, okay, so I know it's really good age she was with her. The other thing with her as well, she was really good with her hands, because I want to knit with her, and I thought I want to crochet as well with her. And I've got lots of things that she would have crocheted or knitted, please, because I'm looking at the thing you put on top of the teapot, you know, with the teapot spout coming out with the thing I'm looking at. And I've got the toilet roll holders, you know, the doll with the toilet roll holders she's given me. And also the things that you put on the back of the settee and the back of the chairs I'm looking at as well. So she used to make all of that. You know, she was very, very quick and very good. But she did say to me, she does have to talk a lot, actually, doesn't she? She talks really fast. I can hardly catch up with her. Okay, slow down. Right, so she's saying to me about, she said, that comes down in generation. Right, she said, I know you're wearing that blanket around you, but she's just saying to me, it comes down in generation, that very creative side of you. Right, okay, so that's what she's saying, okay. The other thing she's talking about as well, she's talking about someone's got an issue with their leg, going on with their leg at the moment. I don't know if that's with yourself, but she's saying, I know that there's getting a lot of pain in your leg at the moment, and she's saying to you to rest your leg, okay, as much as you can, okay. Right, okay. The other thing she's talking about, I want to whip her back a bit in time, and I don't know how far back you can go with her life, but I want to whip her back a bit in time. She was very raw, this lady. I say raw because I don't feel like she wanted to be city-based with this lady. I want to put her more outside, more raw. I'm also seeing a lot of land there, a lot of fields I'm seeing there around her, okay? And I'm seeing a lot of machinery as well. So I'm seeing machinery as well. But I don't know if that was her farm or a local farm that she was near, but that's what I'm looking at, farm machinery as well. And I too am looking at carts. All carts this evening, but I've got a cart, like a wooden cart that I'm putting down, but I've got like the milk churns on it, you know, the milk churns, yeah, so I'm also looking at them on that cart as well with her, okay. And she would muck in. It didn't matter how big this female was, she would just muck in because that's what the job required her to do, okay. And then when that day was done, she'd go back and she would do dinner, yeah, and it would be a lovely dinner. You knew it was dinner time with her. And there'd be no mess in that house either. If you come in, you took your boots off. You daren't come in with muddy boots, not in her house. You'd be right out the door again. Okay. Okay. So with this female as well, she's talking to me about someone that's got a clock, and it could be her clock or a clock around you. But I've got just like a round, it's not a big one, just a round clock, please. It's got a big face on the front of it as I'm looking at. Yeah, so I feel that belongs to you, please. Or yeah, you'd understand that as well. But the clock sort of loses time, doesn't it? Or there's something going on with the clock at the moment. Yeah, so she's looking at that. It's almost like it skips, and then it stops, and then it starts again. Okay. A lot of activity with you going on around you. She said spiritually as well going on at home with you. Yeah, so I know apart from the clock, I'm also getting the flickering of the lights, please. So I know I'm getting a lot of energy coming around you, okay? But then she said she got a lot of family in the world of spirit, and I feel that they very much are around you. I'm hearing the name Arthur as well, so I don't know if you have an Arthur around you. So I know I need to give you Arthur, please. Okay. Right. Oh, she's paused for breath. Oh, okay. She doesn't do that very often, I don't think. Right. The other thing she's talking to me is about someone's eyes as well. Now, there would have been somebody, please, that either has a cataract in the eye. Yeah, you understand that. So she wants to just give that to you, please, as well. And I've got some beautiful jewellery. And this is really I want to call it old-fashioned jewellery. And it's not old-fashioned, but I know it's come back from a generation here. And I know that's still kept and very much looked after. Yeah. I also want to give some handkerchiefs as well, and I've got ladies' handkerchiefs as well that I need to give you, yeah. And I think they may even be embroidered on as I'm looking at the corner of them, so I need to give you them from her as well. Okay. I think she could just talk, this female. But she just wants to say one thing, but she wants to take me back a little bit further in her day, okay? Because she said there was one thing that the family did was be close together.
That was really important, yeah, of how they did look after each other. So that was very, very important to her, okay? And she feels that still happens now, yeah? Very close-knit family, she said, and that's how it should be, okay? She's also talking to me about someone that's got a bit of a hearing issue going on at the moment. Would you understand that? And I'm not sure if actually they've got a hearing issue as they're not listening. Yeah, I think that's the point she's trying to make. It's like someone, she said, what did she say? Someone's gone Mutton Jeff, which I mean, she's a deaf, okay? But not actually, it's just that they're closing off their ears because they don't want to hear what's been said. Okay, anything else? Okay, she's just given me also a beautiful bedspread as well, and I'm looking at a bedspread, and it is of, you know, I don't know if it's crocheted or knitted, but you know when you have the squares and they all join together, and I'm seeing that as well, because I know you have that as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave her love with you, and I'm going to say God bless you. Okay, let's have a look where we're going now. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, I've got a young, well, I say a young man, he wasn't completely young, he was getting a bit older a bit, but I've got a young man that would have went to the world of spirit, please. This young man would have went to the world of spirit, it would have been an accident. I'm seeing an accident with this gentleman, okay? This man was really adventurous. I won't want to put him very old, actually. As I'm looking at him, I think I'm almost like I'm seeing him round about in his 20s, so he could be late 20s or early 30s. He went to the world of spirit, but he was very, very active chap, okay? I feel like I'm very adventurous. I want to do almost canoeing. Whether it's things he wanted to do or has actually done, because he's talking to me about rock climbing, he's talking to me about canoeing and going hiking and all these adventurous things, that's the sort of character that he was, okay? I know that he passed to the world of spirit very fast, please, and very quick when he went, okay? It was an unexpected accident that happened with him, okay? Let's have a look, see who I'm going. Would anybody understand this young man, please, or this gentleman? No? Let me carry on a little bit with him, okay? I'm also hearing the name Malcolm. It may not be him. It could be connected around him, please. Okay. And I'm also hearing Paul as well. So it would have been Paul, please, either him or around him again in the family. Okay. Let me just keep it talking with him for a second. I'm just asking how he passed to the world of spirit. I do feel that there would have been a bike accident, please. And I do feel that would have happened quite either locally or not too far afield, please, with him. Okay, can anybody understand this young man that passed in a biking accident? No? Let me see if they can give me a little bit more. Okay, what else can I say about him? Okay, the person he wants to go to, I just asked for a bit of confirmation of who he wants to talk. This person would have had a red car. I don't think he had the red car, but the person he wants to go to had a red car. Anything more? Okay. I'm not sure actually, I'm not sure if he's actually directed to the person here, but is a link to the person that he wants to go to. Okay, so would anybody understand somebody that's passed in a bike accident, please? Not too far away, quite local, and would have been in his mid-20s or sort of late 20s, but very adventurous chap. No? Right, okay, let me see if I can get anything else from him. I'm also hearing the name, I think it sounds like Alfie or Alf. I'm hearing from him as well. Again, could be connecting around the family. And Molly, I'm hearing Molly. Again, which is quite a different name. No, so still nobody can take him just yet. Does anybody understand that? No? It's not fitting. Yeah, it feels like it's not city-based. Okay, let me see what I... Would you understand the motorbike connecting around him, please? Because I'm seeing the motorbike, and that's what he keeps showing me. Right, so that could be my error. So I'm seeing the motorbike and I'm seeing him, and I presume I put the two together, so apologies for that. So would you understand him being in his like mid-20s or sort of that age? Yeah, because he wasn't very old at all, okay? Very adventurous though. Very adventurous sort of lad, I want to say, even growing up. And I don't know if he did all those things that he just told me about, but I feel like I would have wanted to do them if I hadn't done them. And he's shown me like the rock climbing, the canoeing, and hiking, and he was really that sort of character. Loved to be outside, okay? And again, he keeps bringing in the bike. Sorry, he keeps bringing in this bike. So he obviously had time on this bike, please, because what I'm seeing this bike, he keeps showing me. Right, okay. The other thing with him as well, okay, would you understand that he was very adventurous, but then he also took a few risks, please? Yeah, he didn't always play by the rule book. No, that's just his way. And he had a bit of a cheeky character, this chap, didn't he? Yeah, and it was the sort of chap that, yeah, if you either loved him or you didn't. That's the best way to describe it, yeah, because the way he was, he pushed the rule book just that little bit, didn't he? And if he could push it, he'd push it a bit more, yeah. Okay, and the other thing, because he's got a lovely smile on his face, so I know he had a really great personality, yeah. But at the same point, he would get himself in a bit of grief, bit of trouble, this boy, yeah, only because of his mannerism and the way he was, okay. And I just feel that, but I don't feel like he was the only child, please. So I don't know if there was more children around him growing up, but I feel that there was more in his family around him, please, okay. I was just going to say brother, yeah, he took the word out, sorry. But so I do feel that there was a brother around him. But I don't feel that I feel this brother's still here, please. Yeah. Okay. It's you. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm glad you are here. Anyway. Okay. The one thing he's saying, I just feel that it was almost him that would get into a lot of grief, a lot of trouble growing up, yeah. And I do feel that you were very similar but different in a lot of ways, okay? And I do feel that there was a lot of times that he would have tried to put the blame onto you for something that he'd done, he just said, yeah. That's normal, yeah. And the other and he's absolutely laughing his socks off at the moment, okay? The other thing he's showing to, I can see, he keeps showing me like a fall as well, like I'm seeing him falling. So I don't know if that's something he was doing, like climbing or something, and then he fell off something or something. But I don't know if that's something he did as he was growing up, or whether it's just like I keep seeing him fall. So, I don't know if it was a tumble or fall. I'm just seeing him go. Okay, but I do feel that the characters between the two of you was quite amusing, but I suppose at the time it wasn't, yeah, because like I said, he would often try and get you into trouble and make you have the blame for something that you didn't actually do, yeah, okay. The other thing with this lad, I want to say that as he was getting older as well, is that the risks that he would take, he was so sure of himself. He was so sure of himself, and he had such a way about him, yeah, that it's almost like he just didn't worry. He really didn't worry about things, you know. And if something was going to happen, it'd happen. That's what he'd say, you know. And I can see people almost shouting at him here. And it's just like, it might have just gone over my head, over there, don't worry about it. And that's what he was like. That was his way, yeah. But I know, he's making me laugh, sorry. But as he's coming into you, he's saying, you know, he was really proud to have a brother. Like, and he's sorry to take the blame. Right. He said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's really, I know the proudness there of just having the two of you together. Right, that really made a big difference. And there's a shield. He's showing me a shield. I'm looking at a shield he's given me as well. Okay, so I want to give that to you, please, as well. Okay. And I've got some glass mugs. I think not mugs, glass tankards or glass tankards I'm looking at as well. He's showing me here as well. for you as well, okay? Somebody was really good at the old darts. I'm looking at darts. He showed me the darts board there, and he said, spot on. Like, you're spot on. That's what he keeps saying to me. Okay. Right. Anything else? Okay. Okay. And it's taken me back a bit in time, I think, with yourself as well. What I'm looking at, you know the little cars that you get? The tiny little matchbox cars. That's what he's showing me here. So I know I've got lots of matchbox cars. And oh, I've got the Commando something. There must be little comics. Are they Commandos? Yeah, so I know I need to give you. And you like the Action Men. I've got Action Men going on here. Oh, he's giving me lots of toys now. And I've got the little soldiers, you know, the tiny little soldiers. But one of you, I don't know which one of you, who would have them along the path and then you're shooting. Was that him? Okay, so he's just given me that memory link as well. But there was a window that was smashed, wasn't there? There's something about a window smashed and somebody got really into trouble for that. Because, again, he's laughing at that as well. Lots of lovely memories with him, absolutely wonderful memories with him. So I'm just going to leave his love with you. And, you know, he's just done thumbs up for you. Thumbs up. And I say, God bless you. I'm glad we got him in the end. We connected him in the end. All right, let's have a look, see where I'm going now. Oh, is that all? Oh, it goes too quick. Okay. Okay. You know, what I've got actually is a dog. I've got a dog at the moment as I'm looking at this dog. This dog is a really lovely dog. It's, I think, again, this dog would have passed of age. It's a long-haired Alsatian, as I'm looking at this dog. Beautiful dog. But obviously really got very old, this dog. And the person I feel it wants to go to, because right at the moment it just feels like it just wants to join in and lay down with us. Yeah? Okay, but the connection, I don't know why I've suddenly been pinpointed in your direction. I have no idea, but somebody's just thrown me in your direction. Yeah, would you understand the dog, please? The long-haired Alsatian, very elderly. Yeah, absolutely wonderful dog. And it's just got, the way I'm feeling, it just came in and just laid down. Really contented, yeah? So as it's coming in, I just feel that it just, and I don't know if it was your dog, please, but I just feel very drawn to you, please.
It was half mine.
Ah, okay. That's why it wants to come in. Okay. So it's absolutely lovely dog, this. Okay. So, and the other thing I'm feeling, it's very content. And it was very contented, this dog. And I don't feel that it was a dog that you needed to have on the lead or anything. It just felt, if you're walking, it would walk with you. Yeah, it was just did. And it liked the freedom. There must have been, I've got freedom with this dog. So I don't feel this dog was shut up anywhere or closed in a house so much. It was just like being outside. It just liked to be out there. Yeah, do you understand that with this dog? Okay. I'm actually just going to leave the dog with you because I know actually it was just a dog that come in and it just wanted to squat itself down there. Yeah. So I'm going to leave the Alsatian with you. And it just feels so at peace. Really at peace. Yeah. And I just feel that it had a really good life and it just loved being outside. Yeah, and it's just, I'm just going to leave the Alsatian with you. Okay. Okay, let's have a look where we're going now. Right, who's coming in? Okay, I've got a lady that I'm talking to at the moment. And I feel that again, I don't feel I want to put her to the world of spirit very old, actually. I want to bring her down in age, please. Because the one thing I'm feeling with this female is I don't think she passed the spirit very old. So, and I've got so much life within this woman, so much soul I've got within this woman. And I just feel that I want to be here, there and everywhere. I've got such an active life. I'm always on the go. I'm always very, very busy. I like to sing. I like to dance. I like to enjoy myself. I like to go out socialising. Just really sort of full of life, this female, okay? I do feel that she passed the spirit. Again, her passing, I do think that she came down with an illness, please. And it was the illness that took her over to spirit, please. Okay? But up to that point, she was enjoying her life. She was really enjoying her life. She was, okay, she's talking to me about a green car. There's a green car that's connected with her or the family that she wants to go to, please. Agree. And it's almost like, you know those cars, what do they call them? Beetles? Beetle cars? Like a beetle. I think it's beetle, something like that. Okay. So as I'm looking at her and looking at this car, so again the car could be around someone with the family and not necessarily her. I'm also seeing the letter S as well that she's given me, and I'm also feeling it's either Sandra or Sally. It's something like that I'm looking at, and again that may not be her name. It could be connected to somebody in the family, please, that she wants to go to. Sorry, did you raise your? There, right, middle. Yourself? Okay, so let me just recap for you. So you'd understand the female, not passing to spirit. Oh, so. Okay, you can take. Right. All right. Okay, you understand the car? Was that the green car? Okay. So as she's coming in, I just feel that her life was like, it went too quick. It felt like it went too quick. And she was so full of life. And she liked doing all those things I said. You know, she liked to dance, she liked to sing. She was here, there, everywhere. You know, I just feel she was so busy. And then it's like almost like her life went. Yeah. And she's just saying there was so much more she would have liked to have done. Yeah, but she's in a good place. Okay, and that's what she wanted to bring across here. Okay. And I know that there's people that will still remember her because of the way she was and the character that she was. She was larger than life, so you could not miss her. And because when she walked into a room, she lit up that room. You just knew she was there, okay? But she was quite creative as well, wasn't she? Because I feel that she was quite a creative lady within herself, okay? And she was very good at, she said she was bossy. I don't think she was bossy, okay? Oh, she did just say, I was bossy. She said she put people in her places, and if things needed to be done, she'd say, has to be done like this, it's got to be done that way, this should be done, that should be done. And people just gave up in the end and said, get on with it, you know, because that's just the way she was. But that's her character. She liked to be organised, and she liked to plan things, yeah. And she just liked to gather people together. Yeah, and she was a bit bossy, yeah. She just said to me, I was bossy. She said, because I would tell people what needed to be done, and in the end, they would just do it rather than argue with me. Like she would say, they would just do it. Okay, and she's coming in, okay. I think it's almost like this message isn't just for one, if that makes sense. It feels like it's for more than one, okay. So it just feels like she still very much feels like, almost like she's still here, that she's just a part of everything. Yeah? Would you understand that? Yeah? It's almost like, I haven't really gone anywhere, she said. And I'm still as bossy as what I ever was, she said. Okay. And I'm still thinking certain things shouldn't be done that are done. And I said that wouldn't work, and you still went ahead and did that. And I told you it wouldn't work. And this is what I'm hearing all in my head at the moment with her, okay? But, you know, she's just really pleased to be here. Really pleased to be here. And it's almost like she just wants to give a round message. And it's just the message that she just loves you. And she loves being here, and she loves everyone. Yeah? And, yeah, quite emotional lady. She's coming through. But you would have never guessed that in life, to think she was quite an emotional character, because she had this mask. She had this mask, and what she was behind the mask was not what you saw in front of the mask. Yeah. But she said there's no need to wear the mask anymore. Okay. And I'm going to leave her love with you and whoever else, but I just want to leave her love and say God bless you. Okay. Okay, well, let's have a look. Okay, see if I've got someone else. Okay, so I've got a lady coming in, again, another lady that's coming through, and this lady at the moment is give me just some memory links at the moment to the person I think she wants to go to. First thing I'm looking at, and again, it's toys that she seems to be bringing in at the moment. But you know, like the spinning top, as you go up and down, and it spins, and you keep pressing it up and down. I'm looking at that at the moment, and she's also given me the Jack-in-the-Box. As I'm pushing it, the Jack-in-the-Box pops up as well. But this lady, I just feel that she was quite a theatrical lady. Okay, very creative within herself, but she would like the arts, she would like drama, she would like to act. I don't think she did acting as a living, I may have said, but I just feel that I've got children here, and I would make puppet shows, and I would be doing all those sorts of things with them. Very much around the children she was, even growing up. And even the children that she wants to go to, it's still, there's children here, please, that she wants to come through. So this lady, I feel, is a grandmother, I feel, that's coming in. The child she wants to go to, very much into Xbox. I'm looking at the Xbox being played. Okay, very much into computer gaming, the child she wants to go to. Okay, let me see if I can get a little bit more of this lady. Okay, so the original toys that she gave me, I think were more connected around her or raising her children, but it feels like she wants to go to a later generation, and it's like the grandchildren she feels like I want to go to, and it's the Xbox that she keeps showing me, the gaming, which is quite important to that child, okay? But he's quite a loner. She's talking to me about the child being quite a loner and doesn't engage very well socially. Am I with you? I'm coming back. Okay. Right, let me recap. Do you understand the Xbox? The gaming? Right, would you understand, doesn't socialise, doesn't like to socialise so much, very much of a loner, okay? I need to go back a generation, so would you understand this feels like a grandmother coming in, please? Would you understand the toys that originally I said about the pressing, the spinning top thing, and the Jack-in-the-Box, okay? Okay, so it feels like the grandmother's coming, please, again, okay? But what her main reason for coming in is that I feel that she very much is around him. Very, very much is around him. And I don't know that if he actually hears, but I think he does. I think he does hear spirit, and I think it's her that she's whispering to him, because I'm seeing her whispering in his ear. Yeah. So I feel that she's giving him that comfort, and sometimes it's that insecurity that frightens him. Yeah, especially around being other people. And it's almost like I'm seeing her whispering, it's okay, you're safe, it's okay, yeah? And so is there times, do you find that there are times actually when he will actually do this, like away from his ears? It's almost like I'm pushing the sound away because it's got in the ear. Are you with me? So that's what she's sort of showing me with him, okay? But as she's coming in, I just feel that she's very much around there, okay? And is there anything she wants to say? I need to give a rose. That's quite important. Yeah. And it's not roses, it's a single rose that she wants to give to you as well, please, okay? So I know she needs to give you that as well. And I'm also looking at a picture, again, a photograph, but it's not a photograph of people you can see. It's like a verse written out that's inside a photo frame. Yeah, okay. So it's just proof that she's very much with you and around your son as well. Okay, I'm not going to leave her love with you. And I'll say God bless you. Okay. Right. Let's have a look where we're going now. Okay. Okay. The person I've got coming forward now is, this is a man, this is a dad that's come in, okay, and again I'm feeling quite comfortable with this man, again, I would say that I don't want to see this man suited and booted. I don't think he very rarely would put a suit on, wouldn't wear a tie, not unless it was absolutely necessary. So I don't think he didn't have many ties. He just wore the same ones over and over again whenever he had to use one. So I'm seeing him very casually dressed, just would wear a shirt, open shirt, just very comfortable within himself, okay? Also this chap, I'm seeing, it's right, it's because I think I know who it is. And he did this to me last time. He played a trick on me last time, and I'm not falling for it this time. Okay. All right, so this is Dad. Just gonna, yeah, I can see him looking at me, and this is Dad here, okay? Again, very open neck shirt, I'm seeing, very relaxed, okay? And he's bought that, what's he doing? Okay, he's showing me this roller thing. I'm doing this. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing this. And I'm pushing something. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's not a, yeah. What's he keep doing? It's almost like, and I think that must have been a job or something to do with a job.
It's
It's just,
a winch that you tie and it pulls the pontoon towards you.
right, okay, because I couldn't make out what on earth that was that he was showing me there, okay. He was very good though, very again, he was creative man, your dad, very much was. And he could put his hands to most things. If something needed to be fixed, he'd fix it. Yeah, so, he would use whatever he would use. He had loads of tools. I've got loads of tools with him. Really old-fashioned tools, some of them, yeah? To the point where, and I don't know if it was yourself, or perhaps your mum, had to sort the tools out, and half of them you didn't even know what they were for.
Yes.
Was it?
Currently in the middle of sorting things out, and I found at least 12 drills.
But he had his own system. He said he had his own system. Nobody else understood his system. I've got jars going on.
Funnily enough, the jars is where he kept all the Dremel bits. Thank you.
Well, so he's just told you where they are now. Yeah, I'm just looking at the jars that he's given me here, okay. The other thing he's saying, and he's absolutely laughing as well because he thinks that's kind of amusing. I've got striped socks for somebody, sorry. Somebody's got striped socks on, or they just bought striped socks, or there's a memory link of striped socks. Yeah, so I know I need to give striped socks. Penguin socks. Yes. Penguin socks. Yes. Okay, he's also given you penguin socks as well. So again, it's just confirmation that he's very much there with you, okay. Okay, the other thing he's taken me outside, I know I like to be more outside than I do inside, please. So I know I want to go out there, please. And he was another one, I'm picking stuff off the trees here. Yeah, always picking the fruit off the tree. They may not be his trees, but I'm picking the fruit off the trees. Yeah, often that way I'm getting with him as well. Okay, all right. What's he saying? He liked his home comforts though. He did like his home comforts. When he's sitting down in that chair, that's it. He wants his slippers on, and he liked his home comforts, yeah. And I've got a cup of, what's he got to give me? I've got a cup of, I think it's cocoa. I'm not sure if it's cocoa or it's a hot, like a hot toddy drink type of thing I'm holding here that he's given me as well, okay. Right, okay. Oh, I've got a bottle of scotch. Who liked the bottle of scotch? I think it's you like the bottle of scotch. Couldn't find it though, could you? He hid it. Okay. Yeah. I know I'm almost like hearing him saying, but I'm still not telling you where it is, but I think you would have found it by now. Okay. I want to take you back in time a little bit. So it's a memory link as well. And it's almost like I'm not sure if this is connected with him, you, or if I've gone back a bit of time with your mother. Okay, so I've got your mum, I think, here as well with you, okay? I almost want to hide something under the carpet. I can see those cogs going round. It's almost, okay.
Yes, I know what it is.
You do? Okay.
It's his mother.
It's his mother, right, because I felt it was a connection somewhere. It's like I want to hide something under the carpet That you not meant to be found. Yeah. Okay. And who's got the snake? I'm seeing the snake around. There's a snake connection there.
Yes, one of my relatives has got
The snake. Okay. Right. Okay. There's something else to do about reptiles is round as well. Something to do about the spider. Is it with yourself? I don't like spiders. Yeah, that's what I was getting. The spider, and it's almost like I want to pick a glass up. So I don't know if that was yourself. And I'm doing that with the spider as well. So he's showing me.
because she wants them out as quickly as possible. I like to capture them.
Right. Okay. So that's where the glass comes in. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Again, he's just showing me that as well. Okay. Anything else? Do you know the other thing he's just brought in as well that I need to give to you? Do you know the tiny little, what are they, little mints? He's showing me little mints, also handmade mints I feel they are, yeah? So I know I need to give them to you as well, okay? And earrings, I've got a lovely pair of earrings for you, and I know you're not wearing, I don't think you're wearing any, but I need to give you a pair of earrings that he would, but I feel that they were a gift. Yeah, and it feels like they're a gift from him. Yeah, so I know I need to give you that as well from him, please. Okay. Anything else you want to say? Laces on your shoes. I know you've got boots on, you're not wearing shoes. You've got ones with laces on at the moment? No, do the laces. Right. Would you understand? That's what he's talking about, is the laces, is the issue. Yeah? Is that you can't do the laces, and that's what he's talking about, the shoes. Where you had laces on your shoes, I think, before. Yes, okay. So that's what he's just bringing that in for you as well, okay. And he knows that you're suffering a little bit, I don't know if it's arthritis or something that you have, because he's just aware of that as well, that you're having as well. And he knows that's causing you a bit of pain as well, yeah. And I know your hands, I can see you rubbing your hands. He's talking to me about rubbing your hands as well, okay. He's going on about, okay. Anything else you want to say? No, he's just got lovely smile, and you know he's lovely character anyway, absolutely lovely character, yeah. And I just feel that he's very much with you both, okay. And he said he'll always be here anyway. He's just putting the kettle on because he's getting the time. He said, yeah. And there was something to do about a rat trap.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure what that's all about, but he's just said something about a rat trap. Yeah, you know what that is as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave his love with both of you and say God bless you. You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dora Sheridan! Yes, I know exactly where that comes from. Yes, he did put one down before he passed. It's still there and I won't touch it. And it's long past its usability. So. Thank you. The advantage about me, though, is, of course, I've got a mouth like a foggle and they'll be able to hear me still. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to really, really thank what a wonderful and evidential evening of mediumship, and well demonstrated and very detailed, and certainly, you know, I knew who you were going to with my great grandmother. So both times. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you, Dora Sheridan. Of course, what I'm going to do for the benefit of everyone at home is walk over here, because Barry obviously doesn't give us stuff about turning the camera when I'm not in the way. Quite happy to trash me tripod the rest of the night. Well done, mate. It was a struggle and you succeeded beautifully, so thank you. I will find something to fix it with by next week. But no, of course, thank you all so very, very much. It would be, of course, that time of the evening. Now, I stood way over there, having a nosy at that bit at the beginning, and the things that I could see. I don't know about any of you, but I saw the nativity in this week. So, you know, she's a couple of weeks ahead, but nonetheless. Let's have a look at this week's Bully's Special Prize in Caustic Art Alahana. And of course, for everyone at home, let me just make sure I'm getting the angle right, otherwise I'll be in trouble because he's a little bit higher than normal. Oh, look, let's get the light shining on that one. Well, hey, there we go. And so that is, of course, Bully's special prize. And how many colours did we do this week? 9. You're sticking at 9, are you? That's still progress, but you could do more. Could do more. Give Mum a break, eh? But no, seriously, it's always a great pleasure to see the wondrous work in there. And it's always a great pleasure to see each and every one of you. Now, as Dad has already reminded me, it's time to put the kettle on. And I know that Barbara is absolutely desperate to win that box of chocolates. So we are going to hurry up and say, let's join together for this evening's closing prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together, to be uplifted by love, friendship, compassion and kindness that we share as a group within these walls. Let us remember that these walls do not bind us. It is the love, the compassion and the joy that we share together that binds us and builds up that wondrous power that we can share with the world. And that power is, of course, love. And so as we each go out into the world, let us take with us that message of upliftment, love and laughter, and hope that life is indeed eternal. And when in times of difficulty, Great Spirit, we ask you not to move the mountain. Just give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again, in your name. Amen. 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 Well, friends, it is almost time to go. You know what? It's not very often I do this, so a little bit of a shameless plug. If there is anybody watching, and don't be surprised if there is, because let's face it, we've got young Matthew Stapley watching all the way from Canada this week. He's been commenting. So if you're still awake, darling, hello. If there's anybody on the south coast, or is going to be on the south coast near Portsmouth this weekend, I'm working down your way. So I will be in Waterlooville Community Centre. I'll be leaving in about 12 hours. And we'll be there on Saturday morning. So if you're about, come and say hello. And of course, if any of you feel like getting together a minibus, I know Mother would be over the moon. You'd be more than welcome. But seriously, if there is anyone down there, come say hello. And thank you all for being here and making these evenings worthwhile. But for now, we're going to say goodbye to everyone at home because, of course, we've got a raffle and some tea and coffee to drink. And I'm going to walk all the way over there to where the mouse is, because that's the reason why I'm usually over there, and say that together, after 3, we can say those magical words that don't worry, Barry, they can hear me. Those magical words that lets everybody know that it is, of course, time to go home. And that is, of course, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Good night, and God bless you all.